Okay. Alright. That's fine. I'm gonna give YouTube just a minute to catch up. Also, I do apologize in advance, but I'm still eating dinner because I just really wanted to get this started. This is going to be a very casual stream, but yeah, I'm excited. Hey everyone, this is Chaotic Teal, and that's still hot. So Sephiroth exists. I should have waited until after I finished introducing this to take a bite. Sorry about that. That's why I generally don't eat on stream. But darn it, I'm excited because this is really cool. So, watched the Sephiroth presentation. Mr. Sakurai presents Sephiroth, all of that. Got to the release date, and they were like, releases December 22nd. I said, of course he does. Because for anyone who hasn't gotten that yet, I'm doing a charity stream on the 22nd into the 23rd. So I'm going to be playing Fire Emblem, you know, this, and not Smash Brothers. All day. Forever, potentially. My tea is cold. That's what happens when I drink tea that I made 2.5 hours ago. But then they said a little bit more. And that's what I'm going to get into here in a moment. Because, you know, Sephiroth being a legendary boss in video gaming in general, they decided to do something special for him. So there's Sephiroth's Challenge. I did already boot up the game a little while ago just to make sure that I had the update, but so there's not going to be all of the messages. But Sephiroth Challenge. Just looks super interesting. It's probably the most fascinating way that they have handled any DLC character thus far. Because even though he doesn't technically release until next Tuesday, if you fight him in the Sephiroth challenge early and beat him, you unlock him before Tuesday. And given that this is a limited time mode that can only be played in the next 5 days, though a part of me does hope that they eventually, like maybe once all the DLC is actually finally done, I kind of hope that they do eventually make this just an event mode that you can do. But since it's only available for the next 5 days, and it's actually like a thing, I figured I'll stream it. And if when we beat him, I'll just do my normal Smash Brothers new character thing, wherein I lab and update my spreadsheet and all of that, and then play classic mode, do any spirits. I don't actually know if there's a spirit board for Sephiroth, considering there are only 2 Final Fantasy spirits in the game before Sephiroth. Maybe? I don't know, they added more for Min Min. This is only the 2nd DLC character in Smash Ultimate, 3rd DLC character in Smash Ultimate, that has come from a franchise that was already in Smash. Anyway, I'm gonna try it on very hard first. Fortunately, as Mr. Sakurai discussed in the presentation, while they considered only allowing you to unlock the character from the difficulty you selected initially, they didn't do that. So if I can't beat it on very hard, I don't have to. So we're gonna start on very hard. Because choo-choo. Speaking of choo-choo, that would be really funny, actually. I entirely blame Steve in this game for the fact that I now use choo-choo on a regular basis. I don't think this is an optimal character for this challenge. This is a suboptimal character for this challenge. Okay. Well, let's go back a little bit. It's been a while since I've played Byleth. Though I do somewhat apologize to those who were, like, moderately upset about Byleth's inclusion. I wasn't. Okay. Well, we haven't lost yet. We have now lost. Alright, it's clown time. I don't actually play Joker. That's fair. Yep, this is in fact clown time. Yep, we're dead. Okay, well. I just kind of like the idea of throwing different characters against this wall until it breaks. Sorry, messaging one of my roommates. I'm cat-sitting for her while she's away, so I feel like I should not keep her waiting. Okay, let's see. Going further back. I skipped over Hero for now. I'll come back to Hero later if I need to. And I'm gonna do the same thing for Robin. 3, 2, 1, go! Look, Sephiroth, I'm just trying to eat some ramen. I'm kind of curious. I know that Simon has a special voice clip for fighting Ganondorf, Bayonetta, and maybe Ridley? That leaves him open. The Belmont player talking about things that leave the opponent open. Oh, that broke my shield. I'm probably dead here. I am very dead. I am not dead. I will soon be dead. I am not dead. Yep, it does in fact automatically. There we go. Hey there. This is a thing. I talked a little bit on Tuesday about why I wasn't here the last couple of weeks, and it really boils down to technical difficulties and then work is exhausting. But I'm here now, and you know, here's an extra stream because Sephiroth exists. That's cool. I have a little thing. Okay, so there are little things for beating it on other difficulties too. Aw, that's a little disappointing. I was really hoping that after I unlocked Sephiroth, I could use him. Okay, we'll just keep going down the line of characters I even occasionally play. And we'll just kind of see how we fare against the other difficulties. But yeah, I really like this, conceptually. It might have been multiple years at this point since I played as Corrin. I got lucky there. I was hoping to do a cool thing and counter the Shadow Ball projectile things, but that didn't work. I can say, however, that normal is much easier than very hard. Given that I beat it with a character that I don't play ever. I mean, if I'm honest, I play Richter pretty frequently. I mean, relatively, he was one of the characters that I played the most when the game first came out. Because before release, Simon and Richter were definitely my favorite of the newcomers. I was so excited for Castlevania.
3, 2, 1, go!
Choo-choo. It would have been very funny if I had just hurled myself to my doom within seconds. After I win, because that's how this is going to work out, unless I massively screw something up, I will play as Cloud on very hard. I will not win. Really what I might do is just play as Cloud on different difficulties until I win. But I will be honest. I've never played Final Fantasy VII. It's been on the list for a long time, and I think that I might finally get around to it pretty soon.
3, 2, 1, go!
Unfortunately, I'm not good at playing as Cloud, but despite never having played Final Fantasy VII, I still recognize just how significant of a character this is.
2, 1, go!
And I like to think that I'm allowed to be excited. Even if I don't have that experience. I was really hoping that was gonna spike and it would just be done. Fair enough. Oh dear. Yeah. I know. I actually have it on Steam, and I've had it on Steam for years. I just haven't played it. It's on sale on the Switch now, though, and being on a console makes it about 90% more likely that I'm ever going to play through it. Because with the exception of... Did you just dash dance at me? With the exception of, like, Among Us or other games with family and friends, Terraria, I really don't play games on PC that much. I mean, especially because right now, this is not the run. Right now, I spend like 10 to 12 hours a day sitting in this chair, staring at this laptop. I'm gonna try this one more time on very hard, and then I'm gonna have to switch down to normal, because I'm not good with Cloud, but I am trying my best. Okay, I'm going to try it one more time because that was stupid. I guess it's in character for Sephiroth to just troll Cloud. Well, that didn't work. I feel like this is in character for Sephiroth, he said after admitting to never playing Final Fantasy VII. Just kicked me in the face. Alright, back down to normal. I am not good enough as Cloud to beat Sephiroth on very hard. The really funny thing is, I actually also own Advent Children. I picked it up on DVD at a used bookstore years ago. Because I was like, hey, it's that one character from Smash. I promise that's not what I actually said. I just thought it was funny. I think that I knew Advent Children existed because of a line in Life is Strange, of all things. Game published by Square Enix. Well, that was disheartening. There we go. We'll just slam him into the ground. It's fine. Okay. So now that we have tap danced on Sephiroth's head, it is spreadsheet time. Okay, what I'm gonna do is bring this over so it blocks OBS, but not the chat. For anyone who wasn't here for my my hero launch stream, this is just how I work when I get a new Smash Bros. Character. Because me being the person that I am, I have a spreadsheet for everything. So I just do a little bit of labbing and update the spreadsheet. Okay, there is one visual difference between these two costumes, and it's the color of the hilt of that sword. That one's vaguely purple.
Sephiroth. 3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, yeah, that's not a surprising title. Spirits Within. That one, I feel like the name sounds familiar, but again, Final Fantasy is not a series that I know well, by any means. Just to say the least. I am actually going to have to shift this a little bit so I can make out the columns here. Yeah, Sephiroth has 23 jumps. I guess it would improve the experience a little bit if I showed the spreadsheet on stream. But that seems a little bit silly. I don't know, do y'all want to see the spreadsheet? Okay, I don't know if he can wall jump or wall cling yet. Can Sephiroth crawl? No. It is others who crawl before him. Interesting. Okay. So... winged form can only happen once each life. That is range, not ranged. Can I just say that the completionist slash you know, document person in me is really glad that they didn't do custom moves in this game. Like, I think that Smash 4 was really the onset of my spreadsheet obsession. I made a massive spreadsheet for that game. I type faster when I'm not talking. But I also entertain worse when I'm not talking. So, yeah, I made a massive spreadsheet for that game. And included, because part of what I include in this spreadsheet is all of this information about each move. I did that for every single custom move. Back in Smash 4, I 100%ed the 3DS version of that game. Which was insane. The Big House Tournament. Yeah, that... I should have expected that I'd be asked about that at some point, given that I'm streaming Smash Brothers right now. From a business perspective, I understand why it happened. Because copyright laws in America are frankly asinine, and while Slippy doesn't require piracy to function, it will function with pirated copies of Melee. And it would not surprise me if a large percentage of the people who use it just downloaded a file off the internet rather than using their own personal disc copy of Melee. And granted, I say that not actually having used Slippy, so it might not even accept it like that. It might work with the disc, I'm not 100% sure. However, while it is in their legal right to do so, that doesn't make it the correct decision. I mean, as a Smash player, I'm in a kind of weird gray area. Where I definitely have more than a casual interest in this game. But I am not a competitive player. I can beat most of my friends reliably, and most anyone that I've played who plays casually. But I struggle to play against anyone at a tournament level. So I'm not in the competitive Smash community, and I don't agree with a lot of things that the competitive Smash community says and does. I think that people do get a little bit overly attached to Melee at the expense of all of the work that is put into games like Ultimate, where for them, this is Melee HD. This is Smash Brothers in HD. This is what that looks like. And if they were to release officially Melee on the Switch, for instance, with rollback netcode and the things that a lot of fans would like to be there, the only options would be leaving Melee exactly as it is but adding netcode, which would then ignore 20 years of game design evolution and game development work, or significantly update Melee and add netcode, in which case, why aren't you just playing Ultimate? But regarding the tournament itself, I don't believe that it was the right decision to shut down something like that, especially given, you know, the pandemic state of the world right now, and just how difficult this year's been already. Sorry, finishing writing about the Final Smash real quick. So that I can continue to discuss this when I'm actually playing the game. But yeah, when the world is already as it is right now, I don't think that making things more difficult for people and removing options is the right call. I think there are plenty of fighting game communities that receive far better support. I mean, really, just about any fighting game community receives far better support from the developers of the games than Smash Brothers receives from Nintendo. And that's a shame, because Sakurai set out to create a party game, but he's also a fighting game player. You know, he's not... There are people who like to point fingers at Sakurai for being kind of the face of Super Smash Brothers. Be a stage with walls. Doesn't work. I don't believe that Sakurai hates the fighting game community, or hates the competitive community, or wishes it wasn't a thing. I think he, as an individual, doesn't want to cater to it at the expense of other games, or other sides of the community. Okay, Sephiroth cannot wall jump. You heard it here first. Or maybe you didn't, because why is that even something you'd want to hear? But it is now something you've heard. The point is, I think that it is very definitely it's a corporate Nintendo decision, not a Sakurai decision to make things the way that they are for the competitive community. Interesting, he does have different victory poses, they just all use the flaming background. I've been talking about this for several minutes. I don't know if I've actually made a cohesive point. Ooh, actually, real quick, before... Okay, it is just Northern Cave, not the Northern Cave. Cool. What it comes down to is that it's unfortunate interesting. It still says coming soon. Maybe that'll come out on the 22nd? I don't know. Or maybe it won't. Who knows? What I'll say is that it's unfortunate that Nintendo doesn't support the competitive community at all.
Sephiroth.
And when I say doesn't support, I mean actively works against the majority of the time. I really wish, just in general, that Nintendo was more supportive of fan projects. I mean, obviously, fan games are a very tricky subject. Just like fan fiction from before an author, or like fan movies for a film creator. Most creative professionals avoid fan works based off of their work. At best. Because to not do so risks a lawsuit, honestly. You know, if say we keep on the example of Nintendo. If Nintendo were to look at Super Smash Flash, or Super Smash Flash 2, and they saw Black Mage, or Tails, or one of the other characters that's in that and not Smash. And they then implemented Black Mage, or one of those other characters, into Smash, and the moveset resembled Black Mage in Smash Flash, or whoever. There would be very little way to totally ensure the originality of that idea. Because it is in massively poor faith to just copy the ideas of a fan. Now, same for things like Pokemon Uranium, or... I mean, think about when another Metroid 2 remake came out, and then Samus Returns came out. The very existence of and response to AM2R kind of soured the perception of Samus Returns a little bit. I mean, I don't think it did it very much, because there was finally another Metroid game after however many years it had been since, what, Other M? But it still very much carries the weight of large corporation sees small thing and is like, I made this. That never works out as well as I want it to. You get back here. Oh, come on. Just go. And for one thing, it's kind of similar to my biggest issue with playing fan translations of Fire Emblem, and part of why I stopped playing Genealogy. That looked cool. Because a fan, or a small group of fans, doesn't have to get approval of what's okay from a marketing standpoint. How can and can't we portray these characters? So while the vast majority of fan games are much smaller scale than the games that they are inspired by. You know, you have to look for a Pokemon fan game where you're much more likely... I mean, you can't go to Target without seeing Pokemon on the shelves. But say a Pokemon fan game blows up, in a good way or a bad way. That reflects on the company in a way that they did not control at all. And I think that you run much more risk with a fan game, or when you're making games, you could either go the route, or when you're making games inspired by other games, you could go the route of oh dear. You could go the route of homage. This is a tribute to a series that I enjoy. This is bad. This is bad. Did I mention this is bad? Yeah, that was bad.
Continue.
You go the route of tribute, or homage, or inspired by, whatever you want to do. Something like... well, or even the spiritual successor route, depending on the game series. Something like Bloodstained to the Castlevania series, or... well, that and Mighty Number 9 are kind of an odd case. And Ukulele. So I guess more like Shovel Knight to NES platformers, where you're making something new that is clearly meant to evoke that original series. Looking at the design and the gameplay of Shovel Knight, it is not difficult at all to see the inspiration of Mega Man and Zelda 2 and Castlevania. But I don't think anyone would argue that Shovel Knight is very much its own thing. Or rather, I don't think anyone would argue that it falls too close to the line or is just a rehash of those things. Then there are the games that you find in the App Store or sometimes on Steam, that are very blatant rip-offs of the series. Where it is very clear that the game was made to capitalize on the success of something else. But because they're trying to present it as their own thing, or even trying to pass it off as the thing that they're copying, it gets a lot of flack for straying too close to that line without doing something original. Oh, well, I know what I have to do here. Or you could go the fan game route, where you just use those characters, those IP, that world, those mechanics. Some combination of things that is very clearly representative of that property. But if you get too far down either track there, you run the risk of, this is a really great Pokemon game, but then you're running a little too close on the legal side of, is Nintendo going to eat my soul now? Oh, thank goodness the Origami King spirits are finally available. Or you make a Pokemon game that goes completely against the grain and either hit the same issue of, oh, this is just better than Pokemon. If only A, Pokemon would do this, or B, this was its own thing, so that the devs could actually do anything more with it. I've been rambling for a while, and I think I kind of got off track. The point is, fan games are complicated. Fan games are very complicated. So, from a legal perspective, I understand why Nintendo doesn't just support those. And even looking at Capcom and you know, Mega Man Cross Street Fighter. It's not like they really supported that game either. They were just kind of like, here. We'll kind of... we'll publish it, we'll do a little QA, we'll sell it on this cool Mega Buster looking flash drive, and then we'll never talk about it again. Or even how Nintendo responded to the Twilight Symphony from Zelda Reorchestrated, back when that was a thing years ago. They allowed it to be published with official licenseship, or licensing. And then Zelda Reorchestrated got shut down. And I don't feel like that was a coincidence. So it's just... the point is, it's tough, seeing it from the perspective of a game developer myself, but also a fan. I would love for Nintendo to have the relationship with its fans that it could. To be supportive of fan projects and... okay, that covered all three of them. Other fan things. Or at the very least, to support the competitive Smash Bros. Scene. Or even to leave it alone. I wish these were things that they would do. Because there's a lot that doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why Fire Emblem and Mario just get to cease to exist after March 31st. What would it cost them to just keep those things around? Even if physical editions are limited, what would it cost them to keep it up on the store? I love Nintendo products. I love their games, I love the... I love the consoles, even. They've been a huge part of my life. They're a huge part of the reason that I want to do what I want to do. It really sucks that they've made so many decisions that just didn't go over well. Even just in the last few months in particular. So, all that being said, sense though it may not have made, I do still have hope in the possibility of an industry and an environment where there is more support for fan works, fan projects, I mean, Nintendo's never gonna do something like Steam Workshop. They're never going to... They're never gonna be okay with people downloading ROMs and emulating their games. Even the ones that haven't been available for decades on any new hardware. But it'd be nice if there was support for the communities that are so passionate about the things that they've made. So, all of that rambling done, I think we can safely call it. I mean, I think I've done everything that the Sephiroth update adds. The biggest question that I have is whether there's a second fighter spirit for Sephiroth. Considering that he has two different fighter... He has two different physical costumes that aren't just palette swaps. And pretty much every other character... I think every other character where that's the case, they get a second spirit.
Sephiroth.
So I'm just gonna play a couple of matches while I kind of mentally wrap up.
3, 2, 1, go!
I don't feel like Luigi deserves this. Luigi absolutely deserves this. I also think that it's worth saying that you can absolutely enjoy Joy-Con drift. Probably don't enjoy Joy-Con drift. There is no joy there. Anyway, you can absolutely enjoy the things that a company and the people at the company have made without approving of everything that they do. No, it's okay to be excited about Sephiroth. And also, fair enough, upset about the way that they've handled things recently. It is okay. I mean, heck, it's okay to have picked up and have played and enjoyed Mario 3D All-Stars and Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, while believing that it's asinine that they're only available for the short time that they are. Well, I did just walk into that one, didn't I?
Sephiroth wins.
So, yeah, I'm not the sort to buy into the internet's very all-or-nothing approach. I don't... There are some cases where an all-or-nothing approach is the best course of action. But I don't tend to believe in,
Stop the battle.
you know, this thing was handled poorly, or someone or some brand made a mistake, and thus you are a bad person and should feel bad for supporting or for
Sephiroth.
doing anything surrounding that brand or person.
3, 2,
That's not how I work.
go.
With people, I feel like sometimes it's the healthiest option to remove a situation if that situation is actively harmful to you. But... and sometimes the only thing that can make someone listen is setting a very strict consequence for their actions. That almost just erased Pichu. But I also believe that if everyone just cut off contact with people with a substantially opposing perspective, nobody would ever learn. That requires giving up on a person's capacity to change. And I don't agree with that. Did I stutter? Well, I've certainly just kept talking. Video games, right? Okay. I don't think... if there is a Sephiroth without shirt spirit I don't think it's going to show up anytime soon. So, I'm going to call it here. Hopefully, my fighting against and then as Sephiroth and rambling about various significant topics has been appealing in any sense. I'll be playing Mother 3 more on Saturday. Expect me to have forgotten the voices that I'm doing because it's been 3 weeks. And then, most importantly, tune in on the 22nd and the 23rd, starting at 10 a.m. Central Time, for a very FE Christmas, where I play through Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light all the way, without any prior knowledge of the game itself, and raise money for the Children's Hospital. It's another extra live stream. So look forward to that. Please watch it. Donate if you can. Don't if you can't. Please only give in a way that is sustainable for your life. But yeah, with that all out of the way, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a good evening, everyone.